Welcome to the account of the British royal family's long and intricate relationship with slavery and slave trading. For over 270 years, 12 British monarchs sponsored, supported, or profited from Britain's involvement in the slave trade. The story begins with Queen Elizabeth I. In 1564, in exchange for a share in the profits of the voyage, the Tudor Queen gave a large royal ship to slave trader John Hawkins. James I, the first Stuart king, granted the so-called Guinea Company a monopoly on the African trade, which provided enslaved people for English-owned tobacco plantations in Virginia, America. Charles I granted a monopoly to the reconstituted Guinea Company, leading to the establishment of colonies with economies built upon the exploitation and labor of enslaved people. Charles II granted a royal charter to the Company of Royal Adventurers of England trading into Africa and moved his patronage to the Royal African Company, transporting more enslaved people than any other single organization in the transatlantic slave trade. James II was the governor of the Royal African Company and was awarded 500 guineas for his extraordinary services in 1677. When he became king, he was the company's largest shareholder until he sold the shares after being deposed. William III and Mary II supplanted James II in the Glorious Revolution. In January 1689, William accepted a large number of shares from the Royal African Company's deputy governor, Edward Colston, and the pair profited from England's wealth from slavery. Queen Anne expanded Britain's slave trading activities by securing the Asiento de Negros from Spain in 1713, a monopoly right to supply enslaved African people to Spain's colonies in South America. George I was governor and shareholder of the South Sea Company, and the company took 41,923 African captives on its ships between 1714 and 1740. George II also held a role with the company. George III, who wrote an essay as a teenager arguing that slavery had no moral basis, opposed the abolition movement. George IV's lack of support for the abolishment of slavery also helped delay emancipation. Finally, William IV was king when slavery was abolished in 1833, but he had always been an opponent of abolition. As we've seen, British monarchs over a period of 270 years sponsored, supported, and profited from the transatlantic slave trade. Despite expressing profound sorrow for this dark period in history, neither King Charles III or Prince William have yet publicly accepted the Crown's central role. For further investigation into the royal family's wealth and finances, stay tuned for our upcoming series, Cost of the Crown.